I go to Congressman Meuser right now in Pennsylvania on what he makes of all of this. Congressman, it just doesn't sound to me like an infrastructure package is going to come to pass. I mean, that is even if the president had to rely on only Democrats. As things stand now, he has trouble with those numbers. Forget about in the Senate. I'm talking even the House, where you are. What is your sense of where things stand now?
I'm more than just hopeful, Neil. I think it actually can get done. And just the idea that President Biden now is even speaking that he doesn't want to take a go-it-alone approach that's been done in the past. The term reconciliation has not been coming up. You know, they're at this 1.7. Look, we need a T&I plan that we have something to show for it in the end and truly makes economic sense. There is no question in my mind that if Pennsylvania, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, received $20 billion, which would prorated equate to about $563 billion package for all the other states. We're the fifth largest GDP state. It would be a game changer for Pennsylvania. We can leverage that with bonds. We can create nearly $50 billion in investment opportunity, and we'd finally have something to show for all this wild spending taking place, as opposed to some of the other proposals that the Biden administration has.
All right, now they went down, I think, to 1.7 trillion or thereabouts. You guys, the most generous of the plans, like I said, is about a trillion. I know we shouldn't be looking at just the overall aggregate figures, but where that money goes. But that's closer than where it was. So where do you see this settling out?
Well, we got to focus again on not just traditional T&I. Look, broadband, there's many other factors that we can take into consideration we're going to be willing to look at. But, you know, 100,000 employee civilian climate corps, $175 billion for electric car charging stations that the government, let's face it, you and I both know would get completely wrong. $400 billion for expansion of Obamacare. You know, that doesn't belong in this bill. We need to be focused, and it's time. Look, we wanted to do this during the Trump administration, but there was no negotiation taking place because Speaker Pelosi didn't want to give the President Trump a win. We're going to let bygones be bygones. Republicans, we'd like to see something get done. It needs to be reasonable. We need to have something to show for it. And, you know, we can do it. We can not only for safety and repairs and all those good things, but modernization. You know, we should be able to accomplish this.
If you don't, and given the fact that there's been trouble of getting this police reform bill, whatever they want to call it, out of the White House, Congressman, is it your guess right now that the COVID relief measures might be the principal achievements of this administration and this Congress, and that is going to decide where we go in the midterms next year, that short of that, there's not much else?
Well, we actually could get a lot done, like you're mentioning the Justice Act. You know, the idea of qualified immunity being not included. That's unacceptable. Back to this for a moment. The plan that the Republicans are laying out on T&I is being paid for through funds that have already been allocated for the most part. Now, we can bring in some smart planning, and I know that the White House is interested in this, and I know many Democrats are, such as something called the Infrastructure Bank of America, some tax deduction initiatives for revitalization. We're presenting all of that. This can get done at a minimal extra cost. And we have to avoid all this taxation that's being talked about. You know, I was just on a small business committee hearing with Administrator Guzman, and they don't seem to understand. You can't raise taxes on small business while they're endeavoring to recover. That tax plan is an assault on small business. And the idea of, oh, it's only over $200,000 is going to have their income tax raised. Most small businesses do make over an annual period over $200,000, over 50%. So it is a tax increase. We got to be careful. We got some serious issues here. We actually can get it right.
All right. We'll watch it closely. Congressman Meuser, great catching up with you. Keep us posted on these latest developments. Your optimism might be contagious. We shall see.